shelters, as you've seen.
And that is the same in Polk County, too. And Fox 13's Evan Axelbank joins us now live from Winter Haven. A lot of people in shelters in Polk County as well, Evan.
Well, there are, Kelly. You know, the tension, I just can't get over it. Listening to the forecast, you're tense, we're tense, everyone in these shelters are tense. It's just a lot of waiting, and we're watching this forecast. We all are. Just the way Paul is, just the way everybody is, with the same bated breath. You said the number, Kelly. 6 million people in the state of Florida right now are out of their homes. This is the biggest movement of people, according to some reports I've seen. This is the biggest movement of people in American history, whichever way this turns out. And we certainly hope this turns out well. We're witnessing something truly historic here over the last couple of days, Kelly. It really is amazing. Here in Polk County, here's the situation. No evacuation order has been given. That means, and I guess this is still a good thing, that 20% of the shelter space has been used up. So there's still lots of time, or I shouldn't say that. I guess there's lots of room for people who want to come to these shelters to do so. These shelters are opening back up at 7 in the morning. The shelter space here, I'm at Chain of Lakes Elementary School. The shelter space here, there are 2,500 spaces. There are only 550 people here. So that means there's still lots of space for people who are deciding at this late hour, the last minute. You should have probably decided sooner, but there still is plenty of space here. For instance, across the county, again, that 20% number is still holding up. There are 6,700 people in shelters right now. They checked in before the 9 o'clock deadline for tonight. There are 35,000 spaces. So 7,000 people have checked in, just about 35,000 spaces. We're seeing people, let's show you some video. We're seeing people come with their belongings. They're coming with water. They're coming with stuffed animals for children. They're coming with their most precious things. We're watching them pull up to the front door here. They're unloading big, cars full of stuff, and they're bringing the most important things they have to themselves. So it's really just been an incredible thing to watch. It's been a difficult thing to watch. And if you're still deciding here in Polk County, anywhere, the key is whether you think your home can withstand this storm. Take a listen. Here's some advice on how you should be making this choice.
If you think you need to come to shelter, then you need to come now. Tomorrow will be too late. So what I would tell people is, if you're thinking about coming to shelter, come now. As you said, we had plenty of room, but we won't have forever.
Well, I hope my trailer's still there. It's got all my stuff in it. If not, just start over again. That stuff's replaceable. We ain't.
And that is the mindset of just about everybody who we have spoken to. These are incredibly difficult decisions for people, but obviously we would urge people to err on the side of safety. There are folks with special needs across our viewing area. Special needs in this parlance at least means that you need electricity round the clock for any medical concerns that you have. And of course, the other thing is there are people with cognitive difficulties. The special needs shelters in in Polk County are a bit more filled up. There are 2,200 spaces, and 1,200 people have taken those spaces. So they're more than halfway full. They have urged people, even though they're not a mandatory evacuation, they've urged people across our viewing area, anybody with special needs, as this storm gets here, as this storm gets closer, to come on and check into a shelter, just because you never know what can happen. Certainly with power as an issue, that is going to be something that they're going to want people to do, is to check into these shelters, because they're hoping that they're going to have power and generators, especially at those special needs shelters, have at least been a bit more reliable at places like that, guys.
I'm glad you said that, Evan, because we've had quite a few people that are concerned about shelters, maybe went to one and was turned away, and we can't hit home that point enough. At least there is a neighboring county, and you're near Polk County, they do have some space. Try that for sure, because time is running out, sadly, but there are spaces.
Mark, Mark, you're right. I mean, we have 16 shelters here in Polk County, and they're only 20% full. Frankly, what's the difference if you take shelter in Polk County as opposed to Hillsborough County? Yeah, it may be a bit more of a drive, but if you can get here and you can get here safely, there will be room. That is, just going to be something that's crucial. As you heard Paul say, if we think this storm surge is going to come up by Tampa Bay or in Tampa Bay and around the areas there, Tampa, St. Pete, and you think you can get away from the storm surge, get to a shelter here, how can we say that that's the wrong decision to make?
And they won't mind if you come in from a Pasco County or a Hillsborough County. as long as you're seeking shelter, I think that's all that the EOC cares about, is that you're protecting yourself and your family. So,
yeah,
okay,
that's all we care about too.
spread the word.
Yeah, and Kelly, there's one more point.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Kelly, there's one more point I could make too. There was a lot of talk here in Polk County to whether there would be, the sheriff had said that they will not be allowing sex offenders into any of the shelters here. What I have been told is that there have been no arrests whatsoever at these shelters. So that means that people are getting along. That means that people are working together, and that's exactly what we need here. We need people to right now obey these sheriff's deputies. We need people to be talking to one another in a good, kind-hearted fashion, to understand that we're all in this together right now.
Right, and they're safe from whatever is to come with IRMA. So that's the bottom line tonight and tomorrow. All right. Thank you, Evan.
Yep, Evan, thanks very much. We'll check back with you in a bit.
Well, Bay Pine